morning, good morning. This video here is probably going to be Friday and Saturday if I had to guess. I'm not sure what video you guys are watching right now, but we're going to go ahead and go meet up with Jeff, get some content, and kind of go from there. See you guys in a minute. I'm not sure what we're getting into today. We do want to go to Foothills eventually. I want to get some rollers. I need to wash this car low-key, so I'll see you guys in just a second. Got our boy in the background, absolutely getting some fire shots, so I'm gonna show you guys those hopefully, but this is sweet. right, guys, we are at the top of the mountain right now, and it is absolutely beautiful. I'll show you guys right here. The view is just crazy, dude. Like, look at that. That is so wild. I'll get a shot over here. Like, bro. So crazy. All right, guys, we are posted up right now. Well, we're waiting on the boys. They're actually behind me staring at me. It's kind of awkward. But I think we're gonna go mini golfing and then go to the mountains. But I'm gonna flip the camera here so you guys can see everything here.
There needs to be a Walmart up here.
There should be a Dollar General.
Yeah. And then right next to it, Dollar Tree.
Yes. Then right next to that, BP.
Oh, at least one gas
You didn't ask if you could break my heart. Well, I guess that's fine. Then I'm a fool. I'll drink till I cannot stand up. House to forget you, so I'll get drunk, but I'll still miss you.
Holy shit.
Wild. Yes, it is.
Car show will not be allowed back in Sevierville. Last night, city leaders decided the Slammedenuff car show will not be making a return. This all comes after hundreds of people gathered in Pigeon Forge after that event. You see that here in this video. Pigeon Forge police said they could not contain that crowd Saturday night, and that led Sevierville to cancel the Sunday car show there. 10 News reporter Lauren Lovett talked with some city leaders and Slammedenuff's attorney about this decision. Lauren?
Brittany, I talked with the city mayor and administrator. They say this decision was necessary as the city does not tolerate the reckless behavior displayed over the weekend. They say while this might be the work of a few bad actors, the unfortunate reality is they would not have acted lawlessly if the car show hadn't been there. Those leaders say they have to prioritize the safety of the people in the city and those who visit. The lawyer I talked with says the organizers are also against what happened in Pigeon Forge. He says the city will soon realize that situation had nothing to do with the event. He says he understands wanting to keep people safe, but he hopes the city will reevaluate and allow Slammedenuff to return in the future.
All right, guys, we are officially back home, but before I get into this, I just want to say that there will be one more Gatlinburg video that will be posted next week, and it kind of goes over a little bit more about what happened over the weekend. It really shows you guys what you guys should be doing in Gatlinburg, you know, how you should have been spending your time. It's going to have some cinematic stuff in it. The Sunday video is all in all going to be a really good video, so make sure you stay tuned for that because that should be coming out maybe next Friday. And again, that's kind of going over Sunday of the show. Now with that being said, as you can see, I have the 370Z behind me, and you should be able to see the GTI over here as well. And I just want to quickly talk about the things that happened on Saturday night of Gatlinburg. What happened on Saturday night was nothing other than childish, an example of not using common sense, not having human decency, not having respect for others, for law enforcement, for business owners, or for the city that allows us to even come here in general. The behavior that I saw and the behavior that many of you guys saw is so disrespectful, it's absolutely disgusting. I'll give a quick recap here, and I'm going to talk more about it into the Sunday video next week. But people took over Jimmy's. They were on his pumps. They were climbing on the roof. They were doing burnouts in his parking lot. They were excessive revving. They were quite literally taking over Jimmy's. And they ended up calling, I guarantee, close to 100 police officers in, SWAT team, and they tried to contain the situation, which eventually they were able to. That's just one set of people that caused issues that led to this show being canceled. The next one is aimed at the supercar owners. Many of the supercars were not slammed. Many of the supercars were bone stock. Your $800 a month car payment is not that cool when you're going to a slammed car show and you're specifically looking for slammed cars. It's like going to Chipotle and looking for pizza. You're not gonna get it because that's not the idea. Over the weekend, I personally experienced, and I will throw clips on the screen right here, supercar owners coming into gas stations, coming into parking lots, hard parking. They would block the pumps in. They would block all the people that are in legal parking spots in, and they would excessive rev, bring a huge crowd, get out of their cars and think, oh, I'm so cool because I have an $800 a month car payment, dude. You guys just simply did not belong there, if I'm being honest. Yes, some of the supercars were sick, and I loved some of the cars that I saw there that were exotics. It doesn't change the fact that most of those supercar owners helped draw these huge crowds of people that led to chaos. One of the most disgusting things I saw over the weekend, other than Jimmy's, were the two supercars that thought about the bright idea to pretty much shut the strip down so that they could race their Lamborghinis any 30-mile-per-hour road. This is a 30-mile-per-hour road with thousands of people on the strip, with thousands of people standing inches away from the road. This is a strip that has families, that has children. This is a strip of people that came there to see slammed cars, not your bone stock Lamborghinis going 90 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour road. Again, not all supercars that came are to blame. Finding Nick, he recorded most of his time there, and obviously he didn't really do anything crazy. But a lot of the supercar owners there did participate in all of these stupid activities that led to this place getting shut down. I'm gonna talk about the common traffic. I posted a video on Instagram and TikTok that went pretty viral, and I had a bunch of locals that were complaining, saying that I was trying to control what they're doing. What I mentioned in that was the common traffic that was coming in there. The Honda Civics that look like this. Why are you there? Why are you taking up parking spaces that is full of stance cars? Why are you sitting there revving with your stock car with an exhaust on it? Why are you trying to do burnouts? Why are you doing laps around the strip trying to get attention with your bone stock car? I understand you start somewhere, because builds like this and the GTI and the TDI, they don't happen overnight. But the difference between the locals and the people that drove out of state and brought their stock cars and they sat there and tried to bring attention to themselves, the difference is you know your limits. You know, the locals there aren't sitting there revving, okay? The people that drove from out of state that have respect and know their limits, they're not doing laps on the strip, just trying to get attention, doing burnouts in the middle of the strip, revving in the middle of the strip, revving in the gas stations. They're not doing that. So my issue isn't with people that are just common traffic or that just brought their families in because I wanted the families there. I want you to bring your friends there in a Jeep, in a truck, in a minivan. Let them experience it. Let them see what people have spent years on building. Okay, let them do that. But the people that showed up in these whack cars that are not slammed in a slammed enough event, you guys brought so much traffic and so much negative attention to that show that it's ridiculous. If you were one of the people that don't drive a slammed car and you showed up there and you respected the rules, I know so many people, just like Jeff, his car's not slammed, but he knew limits. He wasn't bringing a ton of attention to himself. He was parking a ways away where he sees other normal cars parking, and he was walking to the areas. He simply knew his limits. And you know, a lot of people there did know their limits. And I'm not gonna blame people that are just starting out building a car that wanna come and see what's there at all. It's just knowing your limits and knowing to follow the rules and obey the law. But all in all, Gatlinburg was an amazing trip. I enjoyed it. My girlfriend enjoyed it. Everybody that we interacted with, they enjoyed it. It was fun because we did things that you're supposed to do. We were in the mountains. We were getting content. We weren't taking over the gas station. We weren't doing burnouts on the strip. We weren't sitting there excessively revving in a stop and go traffic. We quite literally did what you're supposed to do at Slammedenuff Gatlinburg. And unfortunately, it doesn't sound like anybody is ever going to be able to experience that ever again. But that's all the time I got in today's video. Again, next week, I believe it's on Friday, it is going to be one more Gatlinburg video, and that video is going to be highlighting Sunday. So the day after the chaos. It's going to show you more clips. It's going to show you cinematics from throughout the entire week. But that's next week's video. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this one. Thank you guys for watching. Shout out to all the homies that I met in Gatlinburg. Shout out to all of you guys that I met in Gatlinburg. I appreciate all the love and support as always. Shout out to all the supercar owners that did follow the rules, that did obey the laws. Shout out to all the people that don't drive slammed cars, that knew your limits. And lastly, shout out to everyone that did not participate in any takeover activities over the weekend, because all in all, that was the final straw. That is what pulled the plug, and that is what shut down Slammedenuff Gatlinburg. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Next week's video is another banger. We have the GTI, the TDI, and the 370Z. More content coming on this over the winter. I will see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe as always. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.